What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you guys can still hear me, and there shouldn't be any problem here. Let's see here. Alright, what's going on, guys? I am just gonna stop this, and we're just gonna jump right into it. Let's just read what else is happening on the forums, and let's see if we can help some people out. Come on. All right. So here we are. Let me just do this, and we are in. Okay. So let's see what we have here. All right. What was that? Some new design? Yeah, sure. Let's see. Will it change the look and make it darker? Well, easier on the eyes? Yeah, slightly. Okay, that's good. All right. All right. Close that, and let's sort by what is new. All right. Oh, okay. 46 minutes ago. Let's see what they have to say. I regret leaving him. I left him last week. Surely that isn't much time, but I thought about it a lot. I wish I had never left him because I realized I left out of frustration. Thinking back on it now, I made so many relationship mistakes. We didn't address the problem efficiently, and I'm positive he needed to see a doctor. He could have worked it out. He was very affectionate, but he was fighting his own mental demons. It wasn't that he didn't think sex was important for me. He simply had no mental drive for it, and being mid-20s, that's not normal. I don't have the credentials to diagnose him, but the stress he's gone through this year most likely affected his hormones that correlate to libido. After talking with a friend who gave me the most wonderful advice, changed my perspective that the sex drive wasn't the only problem. I found part of the problem was me. I took it personally and ended things due to the frustration and didn't do enough to help him with the issue. I found out what search bias was. The first thing I looked up for answers was somewhere along the lines, why won't my boyfriend have sex with me? It led me to DeadBedrooms, and there were so many responses that antagonize this behavior. It's hard to differentiate what's useful information. I made another post before as well because my situation was more to do with illness and mental health. People told me to leave him. I wish I received better advice sooner. We were both inexperienced with dealing how to address relationship problems. I came to this subreddit to seek comfort, and now I'm reminded of the post to not come here when you're working on things to be better. But I'm now reminded of the post to not come here when you're working on things to be better. It made me subconsciously start to think badly of him and that he's not trying. He was. And instead of finding helpful sources, I came here to read stories and cry to myself and let it kill me slowly. I know the subreddit has helped many, but in my case, it distorted my views of him. I broke one of the most beautiful things that has happened to me. I let him know I'll still be here if he considers to try again with me. But if not, life goes on. But I will never follow the subreddit again because I don't want to succumb to the same thing that happened to us. Wow. Okay. So she follows some of the advice in the comments of some of the people in this subreddit, and I guess she left him. And well, user Whirlykins, it's unfortunate that you left this person. I mean, if they were a great person, really at the end of the day, all that matters is the person at the end of the day. You don't want to leave someone just because the bedroom sucks. Because let's say, for example, you have the most amazing person in the world, and all of a sudden the bedroom is no good. Or let's say the bedroom was amazing, and all of a sudden something unfortunate happens, and they're just not able to perform in the bedroom. Would you leave them? Especially if you're in love with them and you love everything about them? I think you could navigate around that. And let me tell you, I get it. If it's dead in the bedroom and it's not working, then it can be very difficult. And especially if the other person especially if the person has a fully functioning body and they just don't want to play. So I think what it comes down to is that talk. And people say, look, I have a talk, express my feelings. No. It's not even just about expressing your feelings. It's about both making an effort to try and connect with each other. And I get it. A lot of people use those words like connection and honesty, and those are very loaded words, and you got to really understand what that means. Well, break it down for yourself. Oh, hang on, I got a little blurry here. Okay, so we'll break it down for yourself. And what does connection mean? What does it actually mean to you? And connection, well, I'll say what it means for me. Connection, what it means is trying to get at a level or a frequency or being on the same page, whatever you want to call it, as the same person. Find some ground where it's level and both of you guys are on the same page. Let's both have the complete understanding of exactly what the other person means. And try and take one step further, go deeper. And do they understand what you're talking about? Do you, like, break it down for them? Because when you ask them, like, you know, I want you to communicate, and if the other person doesn't communicate, they're like, I am communicating. Their idea of what communication means is different. And so if your idea of communication is the same as their idea of communication, then chances are you'll be on the same page. If you say to them, I'm looking for a deeper relationship, then you gotta explain what deeper means to you. Like, what does that mean? Like, oh, that's soulful connection. Oh, what does that mean? Give them examples. Figure out some way to translate that word, that thought, that idea to them. And I think if they are a team player, they will try and see your world. You know, it's kind of like saying, hey, step into my reality. I'll step into yours, you step into mine. You know, and we'll both decide which one's better, which one's for us. Oh, headbanging, send pumpkin pie worth 5,000. All right, thanks a lot, headbanging bull. So what I want to say is, so like, if you invite the other person, come and step into your world, isn't that exciting? Isn't that something magical? It's like Peter Pan saying, hey, listen, I have a better world here. If I explain it, you're not going to get it. Let me show you. I need some patience. I need you to trust me. Isn't that what happened in the movie Aladdin? You know, he comes in on a magic carpet and he says, do you trust me? Now if she says, nah, I don't really know if I want to trust you. You're weird. You got a magic carpet? Wait a second. I'm out. That's different. But if she's like, yeah, I want to trust you, then they go on this magic carpet ride and that becomes something magical. It's not so much that it's the magic carpet that they're flying on that makes it so magical. It became a magical night because they were both on that carpet together. You didn't have to try and convince her, nah, come on, you gotta believe me. This is gonna be great. No, okay, fine. Let me show you the pros and the cons. You're really gonna love it. If you did all of that, it doesn't become so magical, right? It was the fact that, you know, she just trusted him from the heart and she went with it. You know, so if you're in a relationship and you just trust that person from the heart, then you're willing to make yourself vulnerable and open. I mean, in that movie, Aladdin, Princess Jasmine, she left herself pretty vulnerable to get on that magic carpet, right? To a guy that just said, do you trust me? She did trust him because she's like, wait a second. I know who he is. Okay, I'm going to trust him. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I know who he is. I think I know who he is on the inside. Fine. I'm in. And she got on that, and then it became something magical, you know? And it wasn't the magic carpet ride. It wasn't the sights and sounds that they saw. It was the moment that they shared. That's what made it magical. So in any dead bedroom, the moment you got two people that trust each other, and that's really what it comes down to. Do you trust each other? Because to allow someone to be so naked in front of you, and I'm not talking about just physically, I'm talking about emotionally, that's a big, big step. People are more willing to be physically naked than emotionally naked, right? So you can get that person to be comfortable to be emotionally naked, even first, before you even get to the bedroom. You've probably done yourself a bigger service than saying, hey, you know what, let me research online. Oh, online it says foreplay, we got to do more of this. No, if you're trying to go from the physical first to the emotional, you're kind of doing like a backwards ass approach to the relationship. Start from the emotional first, build there, work out there, figure all that out there, and then get to the physical. It'll be so much better. So yeah, I don't know if anybody ever said that on the forum, but I hope they did. All right, let's see what we all let's see the next thing. Oh, 54 minutes ago. Use your throwaway and numbers. What do you say? Riddle me this. We cuddle on the couch together, watching our favorite shows, and cuddle in bed. We kiss, we hug, we hold hands in public. We go on date nights. Why don't we have sex? And it's a high libido female, 26 years, with a low libido male, 26. Okay, so they cuddle, they hug, they hold hands, and they just don't have sex. There's not much information. It's tough to ask what is happening. I feel like there's so much more questions to ask. How does that person feel about the other? How do they feel about their own body? How do they, what's going on? You know, like there's something going on. What's their idea of affection and intimacy? Maybe they're just like, the idea of sex sounds very mechanical. There's nothing enticing about it. Maybe the idea of connecting in a different form could be enticing. Like if you're really into someone, you absolutely love them, and you just want, then you would feel this urge to like, I just want to make love to this person in more ways than one. What other ways are there? And I feel like if you can get that excitement out of that person, then they would go to be like, you know what? I make love to her through kissing, through hugging, through holding hands. And yeah, you can think of it that way, because if you think of it as like, you know, when I hold her hands, I hold it so tender. When I hold her, it's like I'm making love to her. If you think of it in that mindset, in that model, then every action you do would be intimate in its own form. Does that make sense? So then I think a person would feel like, hey, is there something else? Is there something else that can be done? You know, an analogy comes to mind. A lot of people drive manual cars, and here in the Americas, it's they drive manual cars because it's not about the cost effectiveness or it's a cheaper car. It's mostly because a lot of the sports enthusiasts will think, I want a manual car because I want to be in control. I want to be able to shift gears when I want to. I want to get into the mechanics. I want to be in the programming of it. I want to get deeper into the car. I don't want it to be automatic. And I think that idea in itself is kind of like, if you're gonna make love to someone who's your partner and your lover, sure, you can cuddle, hold hands. Let's say you've explored all of that, instead of having intercourse and just it's mechanical. Maybe try and find the manual mode for that, which is not about. And mind you, a lot of the dead bedrooms, they happen because it's one-sided, it's selfish, and it's either one person giving all and the other person just taking all, and where's that balance? And I think that's where the communication needs to happen beforehand. It's not even about, okay, I'm gonna please you, you're gonna please me, it's gonna work out. No, it's about like why even get intimate in the first place? Why is that? What is that? What is it? Is it a thing that we're told to do? Is it something that or said is supposed to be exciting? Is there something about it that you want to explore, that you want to find interesting? Even, you know, like I had a friend tell me once, he's like, yeah, he's at his day job and he's typing, and he's just like, it's such a boring job that I have to find something interesting. So he tries to find something interesting in the sounds of the keys. I was like, okay, so that's like taking boring to the next level, but you're trying to figure out something exciting. It's like, you know, I try and take enjoyment in the sounds of the keys, and in a way that maybe it can sound like music. See, to me, that's like, you're kind of creating your own reality. You're trying to create something that's, even if there's nothing there on the page, it's like kind of seeing art. People say, it's a bunch of splatters in the painting. This doesn't mean anything. But if you really try and get something out of it, you can pull something out of it. You can pretty much pull something out of nothing. And if the bedroom, even that intimacy, even if it seems like nothing, if it means something to your partner, maybe you'll find something in there that it actually isn't nothing. Because if your partner sees something in it, you'll see something in it too. It's kind of like if she sees beauty in it and I don't see it, I'm sure there's beauty in there somewhere. I just know it. If she's a beautiful person, and if she sees beauty in it, guarantee 110% there's beauty in it. I just gotta find. I gotta figure this out. Hang on a second. I'm gonna figure this out, and then delve into it. Just dive into it, and maybe she'll kind of show you that, hey, this is what she finds beautiful in it. Maybe she'll be willing to share that. Maybe she's ready to be open up and share that with you. And I really do hope the relationship is there, because chances are you might find an area where she's kind of keeping certain parts reserved to herself, and she's like, I don't even want to talk about it. I want you want to bring up even the topic. She's just no comment. And when you go with a no comment kind of mindset to a relationship, it's kind of like you're driving, the other person pulls the emergency handbrake, and you can press on the gas and the car will go and it'll push through that brake pad, but it's not the car's not going to be really moving, and you're just going to be burning rubber, and it's going to take its toll in the relationship. So I think a lot of the times it's about being on that same page with the other person. It's so much more fulfilling, you know, and that's why we watch these Disney movies, because all of a sudden you have these two people from two different worlds. I'm gonna use Aladdin as an example again. You got the princess, she's in a different world. We got the street rat, Aladdin, he's in a different world. But when they meet, they are on the same page in terms of thinking and their ideas of romance, in terms of love, all of that, and it all makes sense. All he had to do was say, hey, do you trust me? And he really meant it. And she understood. You know, she didn't add anything extra. She just saw what was there, and she went with it. You know? And to me, I think that's a magical thing. And eventually, he did lie to her, and then he came out and told her the truth, and she still forgave him, because he came out and made himself vulnerable. He said, hey, this is who I am. I know I'd probably lose you, but this is me. You know, and yeah, and then he releases the genie, which was real sweet. I remember when I saw that movie, I'm sort of a bit of a tangent here, but when I saw that movie, I think that was probably the first movie that made me cry. That's the first movie that made me. I was a little toddler, but anyways, made me cry. I was like, oh, read the genie. He loves the girl. Oh. Anyways, let's get back to topics. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next one. I want him to want me. All right, let's read it. We have been together. Okay, so it's she's a female, 24 years old. She wants him, male, 25. We have been together for 3 years, living together for 2.5. When we first started having sex, it was passionate, and I could really feel he wanted me. He is my first and only sexual partner, so sex was not particularly comfortable and enjoyable for me for a good chunk of a year. I suppose I didn't appreciate his passion enough, as I was so into my own head. At one point, we hit our sweet spot where we both wanted it and enjoyed each other, be it vanilla or with toys, lingerie. Then it's like he stopped trying. He would and still does shower me in kisses, hot cuddles, and sweet gestures, but he would not initiate sexual intimacy. I was the one initiating, nudging, maybe 80% of the time, which was okay until it felt too exhausting and draining to keep on doing. We have had discussions about this several times in the last year. His perspective is, if you want sex, then do something about it, which I get, but also it's not about the sex anymore. It's about him showing he's attracted to me and loves me. Sometimes I feel like we are just roommates who get to cuddle. Am I unfair to wish for more love? After the last time I brought it up, he tried and initiated on the day itself and one day after. I'd like to appreciate his effort, but I find it difficult since the sex felt like, you say you want more sex, so there. So I could not fully enjoy it. I love him to bits and he loves me too. I'm not in the healthiest place mentally. I'm an insecure person, and I feel like I feel like that is exaggerating this issue. Once we go at it, it's great, and it's obvious that he enjoys the sex a lot. It feels like getting there is the challenge. I haven't shared this with anyone, and it has weighed heavily on my mind. I don't have much experience with the relationship, so outside perspective would be appreciated. Any advice or words of encouragement would be helpful. Sorry if this is all over the place. Hey, user 420, what was it? 420 Taco Cat 420. No, it's not all over the place. It makes sense. Okay, so what we understand here is this is her first partner, so I'm guessing that, you know, whenever it's your first partner, it has a lot of weight, and they've been together for 2 years. 3 years, living together for 2 years, and she wants him to initiate, and when she initiates, it doesn't make her feel so great, and I get that. And well, first of all, I just want to say that there's no reason to feel insecure. It's just absolutely normal to feel this way. They've communicated about it, and they've tried things. I get it. I don't know what the partner's perspective is, but I will say this. You know, to any female like this, or any person feeling like this, that they just want to have the attention. They want to be cared about. They want to feel something. I get it too. Like, it's almost like being in a relationship where does it feel like it's numb? Let's read that section again. We had discussions about this several times last year. His perspective is, if you want sex, you go do something about it. It's about him showing he's attracted. He loves to me, and he loves me. So you're not feeling that he's attracted to you, or that he loves you. He's just not being affectionate. He's not giving you attention. And it just feels like your roommates who just get to cuddle, and you want more. You want to actually feel love. You want to feel warmth, and that's one thing. I think that's probably the bigger question, is being with this partner. Do you feel loved? Do you feel love? You can be with a partner and you just feel like roommates, and that happens somewhere in the relationship. And if you were really attentive, you could probably notice where it happened, or what happened, or maybe it was something that they talked about. Maybe it was something that they felt, that maybe they felt betrayed, or they felt alone. Something that pulled them out from this and said, you know what? Screw this. I'm not feeling anything. She just doesn't do it for me, because I was into her emotionally, and then for some reason she broke that. You can call it trust in some ways. I mean, if it really kind of boils down to really trust, because when you trust someone, you give yourself so openly, and then all of a sudden, if for some reason or another, if you feel like you're stranded alone out in the cold, can't help but just kind of sometimes on the internally feel like you want to be vengeful and just be like, screw it, I'm not interested in you, go do your own thing, like, you know. And there's a lot of things that get unsaid. Let's get into the solutions. I think the solution is to really see if you can try and get in on the inner side, like get past the curtain in him, open up to you, and really just tell you how he feels about everything. And that starts with your demeanor. Like, are you gonna, when you're approaching him, are you angry and telling him these things, or are you really being open and loving and warm, and just really open to hear anything and everything, and, you know, come from a non-judgmental place, a really loving place. But if you're loving, then it's not coming with judgment. And I don't, judgment's a really loaded word, because judgment to me is just, it's a lot of it's opinion, right? And, you know, and hey, you can have an opinion and still be loving and warm, and your lover will still accept you for having that opinion. But the fact that you being loving comes first, and being warm, that comes first. It's like being, like, if you know that, let's say your lover partner is like a child out in the cold, and you're saying, come in, you know, and warm up, and I'm here for you, you know, like, no matter what your opinions are, doesn't matter. What matters is you want to love this person, you want to care about this person, and really let them say how they feel. And when they tell you, and they actually do open up and tell you how they feel, do something about it. Do something about it. Maybe they'll tell you about the moment that you made them feel that they were left in the cold. Whatever it is. I mean, there could be all the things that are factors. Maybe it could have came from some other aspect in the relationship where they just, and that caused them to just step out and not be into it. Maybe they felt betrayed somewhere in there. Who knows? There's so many factors we don't know, but I feel like the solution is usually being warm and loving and getting the other person to speak. The hardest part is getting them to speak. If they speak, you're getting somewhere. If they don't speak, it's like you're talking to a wall. just don't have the passwords to get in, and here you're begging and crying and saying, let me in, and they're just giving you nothing. And I feel like in those situations, sometimes it's time to consider saying, I gotta go. I tried my best. I tried every passcode. I tried everything. I just can't figure it out. I need your help, and you're not willing to help me and just leave me here. Then I think I better go. I think it's probably better that you live a life with someone where you'll feel loved, get the love. I'm doing everything I can to love you. And if I got to figure out a way to love you in the way that you want to be loved, I want to know what that is. You know? And hopefully it's not selfish, because when a person puts themselves in that position and really kind of says, I want to give you love, I really hope the opposite person says the same thing. Because if that person doesn't, you're automatically on the same page. Automatically. And it's not something that you need to tell the person, hey, how come you're not saying that? Like, it's... I mean, at least right now, I feel like these things don't need to be said. The person feels that they would say, and if they don't feel it, then I guess you just haven't hit home with them. And maybe they just don't care to try. Who knows? And it's sad. It really is sad to say sometimes it's probably best to just leave it and walk away. I think sometimes it's so hard to leave. You just want to make it work for some reason. What's the answer? Patience? I don't think it is. Being loving and nurturing. Will they step out of their shell eventually, open up to you and give themselves to you? I tell you, like, making yourself vulnerable and naked emotionally to another person takes courage. It takes courage, and you can't force that courage. You can't tell them, hey, just be courage. You can't get angry. You can't do any of that. It needs to come from within, and they got to be driven to kind of have that courage and take that leap of faith, basically, with you. And if it's not happening, then that's sad. But they'll take the leap of faith with someone else. Maybe you're deserving to give everything you're given to someone will be on the same page as you. You know what I mean? I really hope all these people that were reading posts about that, they both come from loving relationships where that their lover's not already cheating on them or any of that kind of stuff. That both people actually are willing and want to, love each other. They just haven't figured out how to get on the same page yet. There's so many other factors, right? Like if the other person is not interested because they're interested in someone else, or just they're just here because they just want to use the other person or whatever. They're not here to give love. They're not here to open up. They're just not about that. Then I get it. You got two people that just aren't connecting. And the other person's saying, I'm willing to connect. The other person's like, whatever. I don't need it. I don't care. I'm not interested. Well, why were they interested in the beginning? Maybe could you find that out? Could you figure that out? Or was it just like a fling? Was it what was it? So there's so many factors, but you can get on the same page, same frequency, and then speak and communicate. You're getting somewhere. So yeah, let's go to another one. I hope that helps. These are all just my opinions. So not advice or anything. It's just my opinion. Let's see. Okay, so users SWSam2. We can't get our timing down. So he writes, or she, my first post on Reddit, kinda. My wife turned me down because we had more important things on her mind. She had more important things on her mind. I got to where it happened often. I was very mad. I did not want to give up and leave her, so I stayed. After so many times, I conditioned myself to not even have sexual thoughts about her. After quite a while, I decided that I have to try to revitalize the marriage, and if it did not work, end it. Well, she had difficulty being dry as she has gone through menopause and caused her pain. I was about to leave her, and she wanted to try to work it out. She then would try often, but mostly when I had already been asleep and needed to wake up in the middle of the night for her. I tried quite a few times, but I was too tired. Literally, I'm 59, she's 58. Now the bedroom has gone dead again because she has quit trying and never wants it when I do. It's ridiculous that we can never want it at the same time. What the hell? I need some feedback, please. What I would say about this, again, just my opinion, is that the problem's not that big as you think it is. You have a lover that's a wife that's been with you for so many years. I'm guessing because you guys are both almost 60, and yeah, you know, and along the way, the body has its issues, and yeah, she's dry down there. But you know what? I think more than that, focusing on like, oh, she's dry, or the timing was wrong, she woke you up, and this and that. How about just being a team player? How about just getting through these early innings with her? And she's trying to figure out the manual controls. She's like, you know, the body's changed. I got to figure this out. And I want to do this, and as much as you do too. How about getting on this? How about be like, you know what? I get it. The timing's off, but you know what? Instead of you being on my timing, I'm gonna try and be on your timing. And screw it. If I'm not in the mood, I don't care. I'm gonna get in the mood. I'm gonna try because I want you, and I want you to be in the mood. And I feel like when you come from a place where you just want her to feel loved and just be loved, it doesn't even matter if you guys really do the intercourse part that much or not. I mean, even if you guys do more cuddling, because she already said that she wants to try, and she's trying. So go for it. Get in the mood for her. But is there anything else that hasn't been talked about? Because if that's all there is, hey, you guys are lucky. That's all there is. It's just the timing. Everybody's got different timing. Everybody's got different body clocks. Everybody wakes up at different times. You guys will synchronize. Just keep trying. You know, you'll try and synchronize to her time. She'll try and synchronize you. Eventually, you guys will meet somewhere. And even that in itself is a journey. You guys are able to do that together. That's something. That's something for you guys to do together. You know, and it's sad. I think the sad part of what was written there was the fact that after so many times you have to condition yourself to like not even have sexual thoughts about your own wife. That's sad because it really does that pulls you out of the relationship because you just it pulls you out from connecting to them because you just don't see them as yours anymore, you know. And obviously that happened from anger, and I get it. You know, you made it this far. I would say why quit? Sure, you can quit, but then what's your solution if you come across the same problem with someone else? You're gonna then feel that, hey, I spent so many years with my wife who was willing to work on this. Why didn't I just work on this with her back then? You know, it's you're really lucky to have someone that says, yeah, I'll join you. Like, I'm not good at this, but yeah, I'll join you. If you'll have me, sure, let's play, you know? And I think that's something. I think that's something to work that's giving you something to work with for sure. You know, and all you guys have to figure out is through communicating, really being honest with each other and what's working, what's not working. It's kind of like two team members strategizing to figure out how to get this rocket to launch. And things will fail. I mean, isn't that how actual rockets launch? They fail many times, and then finally, even when they're about to give up, they give it another shot, and then makes it to the moon. Actually, do make it to the moon. Like, she's willing to make it, wants to go to the moon. You want to go to the moon. You guys both have that same direction in mind. Take the plunge. Go for it. You guys, isn't that what matters? Even whether you make it to the moon or not, doesn't matter. The fact is that you guys both want it. And you guys both want it the same amount? You guys both want to get there just as much? Or is it just like, he wants me to do this, so I better, like, oh, okay, fine, now's a good time. Like, is it that? And if it is that, then you need to be honest about that. If you have honesty, you got it. You got it going good. Alright, let's see what else we have. 8 months. Okay, this was posted an hour ago. It's a sailboat. Is the user 8 months? It's been 8 months since the last time we were intimate. I brought it up periodically, asked if we can schedule some alone time because it's quite obvious nothing will happen spontaneously. I try to talk about it, but it never goes anywhere. You've prioritized kids, your career, your BOD and PTO obligations. I don't even know what BOD and PTO is, but if someone knows, then let me know. Obligations and your phone. I do not feel like a priority anymore, and I'm lost and sad because of it. I miss you. So it's clear the person cares about their lover. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about scheduling, and this is just my opinion. If someone told you you got a winning lottery ticket, and tomorrow's the last day of the year. So the rules are for lottery tickets in Canada, you have to claim it within 1 year. So if tomorrow's the last day, it's going to hit 1 year. And you lose out on $10 million, okay? It's quite a bit. Let's say $1 billion, okay? That's a lot of money. You got a lottery ticket. It's going to give you $1 billion. You don't go, and it's from where you are, and it's like an 8-hour drive, okay? An 8-hour drive. Let's make it even 12-hour drive. Far. You got to go there tomorrow, but you have a packed schedule. You're so busy. There's so many things. You have an important meeting. You have so many important things to do. Oh, you cannot miss you can't even miss your show. Oh, you can't. Your PVR. You don't have a PVR. It's broken. You're gonna miss your show. It's not gonna air again. Especially the soap operas. Oh man, you miss it. Oh, something. Doesn't matter what your schedule is. You got a lottery ticket that's due tomorrow. It's gonna change your life. You're gonna go hop in that car and drive, even if it's across the country, and you got to get there by tomorrow, or whatever it is, or a flight, whatever. You're gonna go and claim that lottery ticket. So it's schedule doesn't matter. It's not about scheduling. It's about your inner desire. Does it matter to you? And I don't know what happened in this relationship. Maybe the question to ask is, what happened in this relationship? What happened 8 months ago that all of a sudden your lover is just not into it? The lover's just maybe something that they don't want to talk about. Were they shamed in some way? Was it something that it seems like there's something behind the curtain that's not being talked about? And it's about that heart-to-heart talk. Can you have that heart-to-heart talk and clear it up? Because if you can, you might get somewhere. But everything was fine up until 8 months ago. So it's not the schedule. If you really want it, you'll do something about it. That's all it matters. That's what it is. And if the heart-to-heart talk was later on, oh, I didn't know. And how are you paying attention to your lover? Are you paying attention to how they feel? Are you only going to pay attention whenever they tell you how they feel? Is that how it works? Is that the relationship you want? And it's one thing if both people are like that, and they're like, yeah, that's cool, that's what I want, and the other person's like, yeah, that's what I want too. But if it's not, and there's like, it's imbalanced, and there's so many more other questions to ask now, right? So many more questions to ask. The question is, how much do you care? All right. Let's see another question. Refusing to sign divorce papers. Wow, this one looks like okay, I thought it was gonna be a long one. Oh, where'd it go? Removed. Okay, so that one's gone. 34 hours ago, and you wonder why. From user Sundial Rodeo, sorry. Come home daily to your drunk and yelling or miserable. Wait. Come home daily to you drunk and yelling or miserable and yelling. After calling me a cunt and or a pig, you want to talk about the kids and expect me to engage. Then you want sex? And the topic is, and you wonder why. The sad part is that, sex shouldn't be just like a mechanical thing. It's supposed to be something that's intimate, and like I like to think that it comes from a soulful place, like it's that deep. If someone what does the words soul and spiritual mean to you? Like it's something that comes from something really deep inside, and to just kind of treat it as something mechanical like it's just like a can of beer or something like that. Like, oh, it's just like, okay, they feel like having a snack. So like, no, it's, you're not gonna get anything fulfilling out of that, you know. And it's clear whoever this poster is posting that, they want to feel loved, they want to be loved, they want to be in a loving relationship. I think the biggest question is, do both people want to have a loving relationship? Are they on that page at least? Do they have that where they're just willing to have a warm, loving relationship? And if the answer is no, there's so many other problems there apart from the dead bedroom. The dead bedroom is usually when there's two people that they want to connect and they're both trying to figure out how to connect with each other. They want each other so badly and they just can't figure it out. That's different. Versus like, wait a second, the one person doesn't appreciate you, doesn't care about you, doesn't really give a crap about you. And I mean, it's one thing if both people don't give a crap about each other, then maybe, okay, fine, you guys are on the same page, but does that even exist? What's the point of being in that relationship? What's there? Is it because like this person says that they had no, that's not it. They said it was because they have kids, right? Then you want to talk about the kids. So that maybe they're there because they have kids and they're kind of forced to be in a relationship. You know, it's one thing when people are forced to be in a relationship, that they just have to be there. So then so many things disengage from the inside, that so many parts of them just check out because they don't want to be there. You know, that's a different conversation. You know, I personally don't believe that anybody should be forced in anything. You shouldn't be forced no matter what, even if you have kids. You know, I think it's quite possible that kids might grow up and understand that that you want to be loved, and so you have to leave that relationship, even if that means having to take your kids and do that on your own. But whatever it is, I mean, that's your own personal choice and that's your own personal opinion. Spaceship Bandana. This post is quite sad. It is sad because there's so many things that are happening here, and it's before the dead bedroom. It's that maybe they're forced to be there, and it's because of kids. I mean, that's why maybe a lot of people even contemplate whether even having kids, because the way it can affect the relationship and that feeling of being trapped or stuck, or if they break up, then they have to pay child support and all these type of things that come into play. So it's you know, that those things make it difficult. All right, let's get to another one. Is it the way he touches me? Wow, this is a long one. That girl MTL. Oh, we got a new person following. Thanks for following. Let's see here. Yeah, Triple X Snipe is following. Thanks for tuning in. Is it the way he touches me? Should we read this entire thing? Let's say they have a TLDR here. No, they don't. All right, let's just see. Let's jump through it. Hello, new here on mobile. Excuse the typos if any. 24-year-old female and boyfriend's 25-year-old male have been together for a year. We never really a strong sexual connection, but it's good sex. The issue is when we go out on dates, we always end up having great sex outside, sex in the bowling bathroom, sex in the car, sex in the water park bathrooms, and restaurant bathrooms. But when we are just chilling by the place, we have a great time kiss. What was a Spaceship Bandana says? I was laughing when you said, "Wow, that's a long post." Okay. Hey, what's going on, Snipes? We're trying to think of solutions to the problems that some people are experiencing in dead bedrooms, and probably possibly weigh in on our opinions, maybe in a way that it helps the community or not. Let's see where the problem kicks in. Hug, cuddle, talk for hours, laugh, but physically we just aren't having sex. It's been 2 months since the last time, and my boyfriend has spoken about this bothering him, and it bothers me too. It's a recurrent issue. We have sex once or twice, and then months go by without. All right. Recently, my boyfriend got very upset and got all riled up, saying he shouldn't have to chase me and beg for sex. So, like, from the sounds of this, it just sounds like it's a communication problem. Like I get it, the novelty of like of having sex in you know, in interesting places. I mean, okay, sure, like, but that should be just the cherry on top, really, right? Like, it's not supposed to be the whole package. That shouldn't be it. It should be that's the bonus. That's the exciting part of it. But it's that you guys are doing it together. It's that you guys are in it together. It's the journey together. That's supposed to give the fun and excitement and that warm feeling. And the fact that you guys are talking about it, are you guys really talking about it, or are you guys just arguing about it? Is it, you know, like, how about discussing it in a way to really talk about how you feel? You know, are you able to open yourself up and talk about how you feel on the inside, like really make yourself vulnerable? I think if you have that conversation, I think it'll help. If you just talk about it like superficially, I don't think that communicates, if anything at all. All right. Let's read this one. Hopeful 2456, a little bit lost. Hi everyone. First, I want to thank you for all your posts. Reading them all over the past few weeks has provided me a lot of reassurance and support. Accordingly, I decided to post and ask for some advice, feedback of this wise community. I'm 47, high libido female, and have been married to a 62 low libido male for 14 years. He's not even low, he's NL. What's that mean? No libido? Is that what? Okay. For me, anyways, he prefers porn now, and we haven't had sex or even a passionate kiss for 10 years. He's happy about the situation. I am most definitely not. I've always been very sexually adventurous, and for the first 3 years of our relationship, it was fantastic. Sex 3 times a day, kinky nightclubs, dinner parties, threesomes. Whoa. Even groups. Okay. All right. Whatever floats your boat, right? Then we got married, stopped going out, everything changed. He completely lost his libido to the extent that I thought he was gay. That was before I discovered the porn, which is female. What do you mean snowfacial bandana? No lab. What? No lab? No libido? Is that what you mean? All right, let's see here. He recently told me that he's asexual. That makes this situation even harder, is the amount of attention I get from other men and women. I could have what I want, desire, passionate sex anytime I want it, but I can't have it, and my husband won't give it to me. So 10 years of celibacy, and I'm going crazy. Wow. Libido. Oh, I don't know. Spaceship Diamond says, I don't know how to spell all that fancy words, man. Hey, man, people are writing it. And what she say? Which is okay. Let's see here. Where was I? Sorry, I lost track. 10 years of celibacy, I'm going crazy, and I've had the talk several times over the last 2 years, suggesting that we open our relationship. However, we won't agree to that. I said I said it's that or divorce, because I can't go on like this for much longer doing monogamy, which is really celibacy. I agreed to start seeing a sex therapist with him, and that's happening soon. The other problem is that I have lost all sexual attraction to him now. My sexuality is based on mutual desire, and I simply am longer attracted to this person who is not sexually attracted to me. Is what she mean? No longer? Okay. We love each other very much, but I need more thoughts. I think it's getting close to that capacity. 10 years is a long time, and to have that stamina to go through 10 years is, and hey, that's a feat in itself. But they had the talk. Now, to me, it sounds like they didn't have a really heart-to-heart, but maybe they're not. Maybe some people are not willing to do that, and it sounds like the female is trying everything. She's trying to have the heart-to-heart talk, but maybe the guy is just not willing to open himself up. And it's been 10 years, and she's even going through to like a sex therapist. She's trying everything to do that, and she's expressed it. It's clear. Well, the question is, will he come around? I mean, if he doesn't want to engage, he doesn't want to engage, right? And can't force that. Can't. I mean, you can make yourself open and emotionally available, and will they come? Will they come to the playground to play, to even talk, and with honesty and trust? And if they're just not interested, they're just not coming, then I don't know what else can be done. Because it's like the saying, you can only lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. So, and then you have questions, right? Whether this is a relationship you want to stay in or not. And porn, and from my understanding, is that it has a lot of negative effects on people's relationships. I mean, if it's would you say spaceship bandana? But why go for digital over physical? It's true, but you know what? A lot of people might be going for digital because it plays a role in their mind. Spaceship bandana says, "Do you think spending some time to figure that out would be beneficial?" I mean, if you have a heart-to-heart talk, you could, but it really depends on that. If that person really wants to get to that heart-to-heart talk conversation, does that appeal to them? Because maybe they don't want to go to that place and talk about it, and the reason why people go to digital than physical is because the digital offers something to excite them in their in their imagination. There's something in there, something that maybe they got turned off by in the relationship that made them detach or take a step back. And they said, screw this, I'm going to digital. At least that one won't make me feel betrayed. At least that one won't make me feel ashamed, or whatever it is. You know, that's just an example. And 10 years though is a long time, which is why I guess it sounds like she tried and tried. Maybe whatever it is, maybe they've just completely checked out, or maybe it's been 10 years and maybe he just said screw it, and maybe he, like, I feel like when a person checks out, they kind of have like a timeline inside. It's like when you have, like, if you have a breakup with someone, there's like a certain span of time where you can rekindle that relationship and get back together, but usually it has an expiry date, and after a certain point in time the person realizes, okay, they're totally gone, all right, now I'm moving on. If they come back, it's there's no way it's happening. And I think that things like that can happen emotionally, and so it is possible, but you won't know until you have a conversation, or if they're willing to have the conversation, or even talk about it. If they don't want to, or if maybe they don't want to even tell you that they've checked out and it's been 10 years and they don't care, or whatnot. So you know, and that brings it to a bigger issue of is this relationship just as important to them to keep it running? You know, keep the engine started on this one, because whenever you get old, maybe they're just not interested in or want that anymore. And another thing to consider is I mean, I don't know what 62-year-old bodies are like, but could it be that his body's just functioning a different way? I doubt it. I would think that if they're emotionally still there, that excitement would still be there, but just maybe just decrease a little bit, even if it is like a bodily thing. Because like he's obviously getting excited by watching porn, right? So it's still there. You know, the fire still ignites. It's just a matter of can his wife or his partner, whoever it is, really his wife, ignite that fire, and would he allow her to ignite that fire? And that's the deeper question. So yeah, I mean, it sounds to me like the sex therapist might help, especially if he's willing to go there. So maybe they'll unravel things that will bring them to a place to talk about that. So let's see. Hey, Spaceship Bandana, you want to get in on the stream? Yo, you still there, Spaceship Bandana? Maybe join in his digital adventure. You know, you know, the digital adventure. Sure, I mean, to me that's just like she's coming to him and saying, fine, you want me to join you on this? And then the question is, does he want her in there? Because if he's rejecting her, if he's rejecting her in person, and he's escaping to the digital to the digital stuff, there's a good chance that he might not want to include her in that as well. But if he is, then hey, that's a conversation to have, and might be something that might be worth exploring. Hey, XXX Snapziz, thanks for following. All right, we're gonna get Mr. Spaceship Bandana here on the stream. So give us a second while we set up, and we'll continue this.
Yeah, man. I hear you loud and clear.
All right, all right. So let's see here. Let's see if spatial bands. Yo, talk for a second. You in?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Let me just see if your sound's coming through. Speak.
Hello.
All right. All right. Looks like you're in on the stream finally. All right. So we're good. Um, let's see here. We're good. And let's get back to this, man. All right.
All
So
right, cool.
what do we have? What do we have? Should we check out another thread this time?
It's up to you, man. I'm just here for the ride.
Mr. Spaceship Bandana's on here. Well, let's see if you can weigh in on this one. This one's a 19-year-old male. Oh, sorry, my 19-year-old male. Uh, so she's a 19-year-old male. Girlfriend's 18-year-old. Doesn't have much interest in sex. So before I start this post, isn't as dead of a bedroom as some others on here. So I apologize if this isn't the right place. So my current girlfriend and I have been dating for almost a year. We have had sex about once or twice a month, which she is okay with that. However, I have a higher sex drive than her, and I feel guilty for wanting more because relationships aren't just about sex. So I would feel guilty making a big deal about it. I'm just so satisfied. I'm just not satisfied though, and I blame that on myself and see it as something that I need to work on when it comes to our relationship. After reading the subreddit for a while, though, I wonder it's not me. If it's not me, it's not just sex. To be clear, though, she isn't a big kisser. I'm almost always the one to initiate. She says she loves cuddles, but every time we do cuddle, it ends her continuing asking for me to give her a massage. and I don't really get a chance to hug her. I'm a big physical person in relationships. I love kisses and cuddles, so that bothers me too because I don't want to be needy. But I feel underappreciated, which I don't think is the case. The reason she has given when I bring it up is that her ex has made her feel uncomfortable with physical stuff, which that isn't her fault. So I try to take things slow and let her go at her own pace, and I have tried to be patient, but it has been almost a year. I love her, but it's becoming hard to keep waiting. I don't want to leave her, but this has been bothering me lately. Any suggestions? All right, Mr. Spaceship Bandana, you go first. What do you think?
Well, I think he's too young to be worried about any of this. It's
So
my honest opinion.
you're like, this guy's too young. What are you doing? You
Yeah,
shouldn't
man,
you
like
shouldn't be doing
19,
it in the first place. Is that what it is?
No, I mean, you can do it, but if you're this stressed about like, getting in bed with someone
Hmm.
at 19,
Yeah.
like you clearly want to be focusing on other things, I think. 19 is a bit too young to be worried about
Hey,
like
I'm just fixing your webcam because you are
Mhm.
looked wonky for a second. All right. I don't know how you disappeared on there. I don't know, that's weird. But okay. Sorry, I missed that last part you said. What'd you say?
Um, I just think that 19 is a bit too young, but I don't think that's what he wants to hear. What he wants to hear is
What does he want to hear?
how to improve his chances, right? That's what he wants. To can you bring the post back up again?
Yeah, let's see. So this is it. I
Yeah,
mean, from me, okay. I'm just gonna weigh in and say what I think.
yeah.
Um, look, somebody else wrote here. Pull the eject lever, 19-year-olds. This is when you should be getting your freak on, and there's tons of girls who want to get the freak
Yeah.
on. Yeah, that's
I mean,
that to me. I don't
yeah.
think that's a solution. Here's what I think is a
No,
solution.
no, that's not.
The solution is okay. First of all,
That's how you get hurt long
yeah,
term. That's
yeah,
how you
that
get hurt.
definitely okay. So here's what it is. If you have a girl that you're absolutely into, and obviously if you're willing to work on it with her, you're doing this because I'm guessing you want a long term relationship. I mean, otherwise, why would you put the work in? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
So,
he's obviously like trying his best to, make her feel comfortable.
hmm,
He actually cares about her.
yeah,
He's trying to do things that he's not even comfortable doing. So
hmm,
he's willing to, change, which
hmm,
is a good sign. But if he's feeling underappreciated and, feels
hmm.
like a mattress, then he needs to focus on something that gives him, some sort of self-respect and self-appreciation
So what would you do?
because
So let's say you put yourself in this person's shoes. If you were 19, you had
Mhm.
an 18-year-old girlfriend, and this is the situation, what would you do?
if I was 19
Yeah.
and um
No, wait a second. Where'd you go on the stream? You disappeared, bro.
I'm
How did
gone, man.
how did that
Just like that.
how did that
Just like
happen? Oh my goodness. Okay, let me just see here. Why is it?
that.
How did you disappear? Sorry, guys. Oh, there is Handel,
Oh,
and he just keeps. I don't know
turn,
why. I don't know what.
turn into a lion on the stream.
Yeah, I know. Okay, sorry. Um, I'm trying to. They made the stream so small. I was like, sorry, this is technical difficulties. Real bad. This is real bad.
Because
Um.
it's locked. You gotta unlock it first.
Oh, that's thanks for telling me. I was like,
So,
why is this happening? Okay.
oh yeah, there's the man.
All right. Yeah, you can keep talking. They still want. They're still listening. I mean, we had two people here, and then they just and then they just left when we had technical difficulties. Uh, maybe I'll just leave it. I wonder if it's every time I flip back and forth. Maybe that's why. Um, but yeah, you go ahead. You weigh in. Say what you were saying.
Man, I don't know.
Sorry guys, whoever's watching. This was our first time trying to do a co-stream. Um, and the technical difficulties kick in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, if I was 19, I'd probably be in the exact same position as this guy, like, trying my best to make sure that that the girl is comfortable and, having a good time and is willing to, so like, do everything in my power to make her happy, which I think is what this guy's trying to do,
Hmm.
and is later expecting that happiness to be in the bed. But
But what's the solution though? What would you do when you say I'm gonna do everything that she wants to do? Like, how are you gonna get anywhere with that?
yeah, the solution is basically like like you got to focus internally, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay. And how
So
would you do
like
that? What are you doing?
like self growth, some sort of which he's obviously trying to do. He's obviously trying to
Hmm.
you know see his own faults, and which leads to self growth, in my opinion.
Ah, interesting. You know, I,
What
I'm,
do you?
my opinion is completely different. I don't think it's self growth. I don't think it is. I think the self growth will just happen. All
Mm,
right. Right now he's in a relationship.
yeah.
Things aren't where they're mismatched. They're not on the same page.
Hmm.
You need to
Oh
find a
yeah.
way to bring them onto the same page, and that happens with communication. It happens with having an honest heart-to-heart talk. Now she said that she's had problems with the ex, so she's not into the physical stuff. So, but if he can just wind it back a little bit, all right. Baby steps. Start with an area that she is comfortable with, something that you guys can both do, both enjoy, and just be open and free, and maybe even explore, even if it's as simple as cuddling. All right, and then work your way forward. Because don't forget, it's about like he said he's basically saying that he has a higher libido and he has a higher drive. All right, he wants
Hmm.
that. He wants to share that. He wants to do something with it. It's like a fire. He wants to ignite it. So he can do that by cuddling. He can do that by getting emotional with her. He can do that by getting in like you can still think of it if you can still make love to someone by cuddling them or holding their hand or kissing them.
But it says here she doesn't feel comfortable
But
doing physical stuff.
yeah, but and she said, and apparently it comes from her past exes, right? So
Yeah.
what I'm saying, wind it back to a point to something that she's comfortable with.
Hmm.
Maybe what if it's as far as just writing love letters that just make her feel something on the inside, right?
Hmm.
Like, I
Yeah.
mean, isn't that why
Yeah.
sexting is advocated? Because I mean, it's just words on a phone.
Hmm.
Why is it having
Yeah.
any
That.
effect on you? It has
Yeah.
something
So.
behind it that's coming from a person with a certain feeling, with a certain imagery. It has all that, right?
Hmm.
Wind it back. If you can't do the physical, wind it back. Go further back to a place that she's comfortable with, that you can explore, that place that you can play. And as long as she's willing to play with you and she wants to connect on that level, you'll get somewhere. You'll move forward. But if she doesn't want to, and she's just not interested, she doesn't want to even. She's like, I don't even want to talk. I don't want to go anywhere near that realm. I don't. I'm sorry. You're on your own with that, and
Yeah.
that's different. But she said then she has an attitude of not being a team player. She doesn't even want to even talk about it. Not even want to think about it. Just want to
Mm.
hear you out. Like isn't it a two-way street? Like at least hear the other person out to understand how he feels, what they think, and how it is work. And yeah, you're 19 years old, but if she thinks she's worth it, then you gotta put
Yeah.
in the work.
And she's 18, right? And if she's had like a traumatic experience, then she probably doesn't even want to go near that physical realm, as you
Yeah,
said.
but to say that it's
So it shouldn't
impossible,
just be, yeah, it shouldn't just be like let her go at her own pace, as
because
he's saying.
because it might never activate in that way,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
like saying, yeah, I want to get fit, but I'm not going to go to the gym. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine. Then like, if you don't want to go to the gym, you're afraid of the gym. Can we go for a morning walk? Can we wake
Mm.
up every day on routine and go for a morning walk?
Yeah.
How does that feel? How does it feel to go on a morning walk with me? And
Mm.
we'll walk together. We'll talk nice stories. We'll make it a loving experience. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like you have a path to get somewhere. Because the thing is that if you're gonna give up on her, and maybe she's already given up on herself, well then you might have missed out on a really amazing relationship with someone that it would have been amazing with. I mean, sure, maybe the bedroom stuff, the physical stuff wasn't there, but maybe everything else was great, and you turned it down for what? Because she was willing, and it's one thing to just say you're willing and you're interested and you're trying, but to be doing nothing.
Mm.
Like like it's like saying that if the other person says to you, "Yeah, I love you," but you feel no love, you don't feel any warmth. What's the point,
Hmm.
right? As a
Yeah.
person actually trying to do something to make you feel loved when they talk to you, that they care about you, like, oh no, I pay attention, I care about you, but really they don't. You have to keep telling them.
Hmm.
I mean,
But I still think that he's like, if you read his post,
mm,
he's wanting these things,
yeah,
and he thinks he's doing things for her, like she wants a massage, which is like a pretty physical thing, so
yeah, yeah.
she's
So
obviously trying, but he still feels underappreciated, so to me, like, that word sticks out, like underappreciated. Like, why are
yeah,
you feeling
I mean, you would feel
underappreciated?
underappreciated. It's like, hey, like, don't you think about me? Like, hey, don't what I want matter? Doesn't why even cross your mind? Like, you're just gonna be
But she's not
selfish?
there yet, and she's
Yeah,
she's
but
even said why she's not there yet. So
yeah, but
why?
I get that. I get that. But is it fair to say that a person is just like they're gonna use that to say I'm not even gonna get there emotionally with you. I'm not even gonna have a conversation with you. I'm not even gonna like. There's so many other things to talk about. I get it. The physical stuff that makes sense. But like
Hmm.
I'm talking about the attitude. What about the attitude of being like I can't do that yet because I'm not comfortable. But there's so many million other things I can do, and there's so many other million other things I can do to show you that I do care about you. You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's where it happens.
So
And
so
yeah,
at
they're
the end
both.
of it, we would need more information. But it says here he's been at it for almost a year.
Well,
So.
maybe he's at it in the wrong ways. You know what I mean? Like he's not maybe come from like a soul place, come from a connection place, from an honesty place.
Hmm.
You know, like make yourself open, honest, vulnerable. Like maybe things like that. Maybe that'll leave them open to have that same connection and vulnerability to
Yeah.
make themselves
But
vulnerable.
how do you know any of that at that age? I mean, I'm not
I think
trying
it's
to be.
possible. I mean, I think it's
I
possible
don't
because
know.
I
Like,
felt like whenever I was
when
that
I was
age,
19, all I cared about was
Yeah, but I
video
feel,
games, and
yeah, but you know what? You connected to video games for a reason, right? You connected to these Disney movies for a reason. It connected to you in a way that you weren't told that you were connecting with it,
yeah.
right? Same thing here. You can connect to them without telling them I'm gonna connect to you. You know what I mean? You can tell
So
them,
then, yeah.
but
So
it's
then
about
it comes
communicating.
back
Like
to.
where can you communicate with them? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because you can say all this. You can say like even if you're with someone who's like in their 20s and or 30s and you're saying all this to them, but it doesn't resonate with them. You're just not speaking their language,
Mhm.
right? Isn't
Mhm.
that what communication comes down to? Like speaking their
Yeah.
language, making them understand, verbally, non-verbally, whatever it is, making it honest, true, open. I feel like these are all things to consider.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like when you have that, I think you'll make progress. That's about progress, about
Yeah.
moving forward. If you're just stagnating, then yeah, maybe
Mhm.
maybe the person doesn't want to move, and maybe it's time to pack up and move forward.
Yeah.
Because here's the
Well.
thing. Here's the thing. If you walk away from a relationship thinking this is crap, they don't care, and then all of a sudden somebody else comes along and they're willing to put in the work and they get somewhere,
Mhm.
I hope you're not going to be regretful and be like, I wish I had put in the work because she was worth it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas it's one thing to be like, yeah, I don't want to put in the work because she's worth it, but not really. And okay, you know what? I'm sorry, I don't have the time. I got other priorities.
Well.
Sure, that's you as a person. It's fine. It's a personal thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and it's one thing to just be completely exhausted and be like, I tried everything. I made myself open, vulnerable. I did all that stuff.
Mhm.
We went to couples therapy. She did not care. She said yes, 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 and she did jack shit. Like that's different. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like you just saying yes and not doing anything. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
just it's like who are you trying to deceive here? You know? And for
Mhm.
what purpose? Like if you're not looking to have a human connection with me, then what do you what are you after?
Yeah.
What's important to you? Do you want the comfort of being with the guy with money, or being with the guy that's good looking, or being with the guy that's cool, or he's the captain of the football team? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
What is your
But but
what's your ultimate goal?
But to me, it looks like she's trying to, oh, what happened?
I don't know what happened, but I don't know what's going on with your cam, man. It just keeps going somewhere. It
Maybe
just
you have it hotkeyed, like where
no nothing. We just left it. It just the source just keeps
that's
moving. Ah.
yeah, that's my bed right here, guys.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, they didn't see that. It didn't.
It's all good.
Yeah.
They saw my forehead move.
Sorry. I continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's just jump to the next one, or should we go? Let's just jump to another thread.
So overall, what's your solution then?
My
for this
solution, my,
guy.
my, my, my solution was, if she's worth it, put in the work, and put in the work by
But how much work, right?
no,
Because
that
you're
is the work, and if you once you know what the work is and what the goal is, you'll actually move
okay.
towards that direction. Yeah, if the idea is like, okay, fine, he's like, we're young, and I feel this way, and I don't think she understands that, then okay, fine, she doesn't understand that. Take it deeper, make it more honest, make it more honest. Ask yourself, can I make it more honest? Like, sit down and just really, and is she seeing you? Like that's like, that word. What does that mean to you? Whenever I
Hmm.
ask you, is she seeing you? Does she see you? Does she see who you are on the inside, how you feel, everything, all these like minute little details.
But that's a big commitment, right?
It is a big commitment,
To
but
be able to do
we
that.
don't know how committed he is to this girl. I mean, he's committed enough to
Oh,
put this
he's
on
waiting. Yeah,
a
yeah,
post. He cares about her
exactly.
that much.
Yeah.
He's taken the courage to put himself out there and be like, guys, what do you think? I don't know if my issue is small or big, but
Mhm.
can someone please weigh in, because she's important to me,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
and that takes courage.
Yeah.
And what if it's a person who's really shy, and then they come out and they say these things?
Hmm.
Um, you know, it might look like a small step to a lot of people reading the post, but I think it can be a big step for someone to put themselves out there and speak about the problems. So
Yeah.
that's that.
That's.
Let's see here.
I think he should put more effort into like self-discovery rather than, 'cause that's a bit too young to be,
Man, I don't think
to be
there's
going
any too young
super
for
serious.
love. I don't think so. I think, hey man, even there's high school sweethearts everywhere that people have been
I
married
mean, I'm
to.
not forcing it down his throat. I'm just saying that's my opinion. It's like that's too young to be worrying about. Not saying I didn't worry about girls when I was young, but
Mm.
those were mistakes. Like
Ah, I see what you
when
mean.
you're older, you just have more. I don't know. You just have more understanding of what you want and what the other person wants, and it's better that way.
So your thing is, if he puts in more time into the self discovery,
Yeah.
maybe is now not a time for relationships? Is that what you say?
Wait, what?
You're saying that now is not a time for relationships. He should put more work into understanding himself.
No, I'm not saying it's not time for a relationship, but to like worry to this extent where,
Mm.
he's like doubting himself and like, I don't know, like doing things that he doesn't want to do and preventing himself from doing things that he wants to do. He thinks he's a physical guy. Maybe he's not even a physical guy, because massaging someone,
Mm.
that's like one step away from, you know, the three-letter word that
Okay.
we all want to do. Procreation.
Mr. Spaceship Bandana.
Using big words here. I couldn't
uh,
type libido, but I got this.
um, well, one thing I would say about what you said, it is about knowing yourself, right? Because if
Hmm.
you're able to be honest with yourself and you're able to really kind of um, tune in with yourself, you can probably share that a lot easier with the other person. So I
Hmm.
would say that's an important um, thing for people to do. It's almost like an exercise I think people should do, is just kind of tune in with yourself.
Hmm.
And I know that sounds very yoga like, but I think it's a great thing, because if you can be in tune with yourself and understand your insecurities, your vulnerabilities, all these type of things, and then be willing to share that with another person, it comes out a lot cleaner and easier to
Yeah.
understand, and that can make a world of a difference, especially if you're trying to give it to someone you care about. Right? I mean, you
Mhm.
obviously wouldn't you care about giving what your internals are to the other person in a nice, like on a platter, on a plate that's really nicely decorated and nicely, like, that you took some care into giving it to them. You just didn't
Mhm.
just slop. It's like making dinner and just slopping it all together and be like, here you go. Versus like,
Mhm.
I took care into making this nice for you.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not trying to like add frills to it or make it more than it actually is. It's
Right.
all raw, it's all real, but I wanted to show that I care in every aspect, even the
Mhm.
presentation. So yeah. Um, all right. Let's go to this read. Try another. Just try another. Uh, we could try another channel. I think we did it. I went through a few on in Dead Bedrooms. I wonder, should I go through one more in Dead Bedrooms, or should I
Yeah,
jump
man,
to?
do one more.
All right, fine.
The
This one was
closing act.
this one was from 6 hours ago. Let's read it. Posted by user Ready Lame Fire. Is that what it says? Okay. That's okay. Let's read the bedroom was never really alive, and I, 26 female, don't know what to do. All right. So hey, here's the long story. I've been living with my roommate, 31-year-old male, for 5 years now. The last 3 of which has been just him and me. We sort of stumbled into a relationship. We're incredibly domestic. What does that mean? Incredibly domestic.
I don't know.
All right. Our stuff is intermingled, and I like the hell out of him. Now now if only I could f him. He has a high libido. I have next to none. Sex is missing from his life, and I don't even notice a craving for it. I have a sex drive. Sure, I have a specific fetish, not a kink fetish. I needed to get off, but unfortunately, that fetish doesn't really do me much good in bedroom settings. I don't know why, but I'm kind of touch adverse. And when I let him touch me, and it moves towards a sexual direction, I feel intimidated, uncomfortable, anxious, conflicted. I want to have this connection he desires so much, but the second it moves in that direction, it's like something squeezes my heart, and flight wants to kick in. As far as I know, I'm not a victim of sex abuse. I've been kissed without permission. That's it, and I have no real reason to be so avoidant. He himself has voiced his struggles of not having physical intimacy. He's a very physical person. I mean, you can hardly snuggle without him trying to stick a hand down your pants. Kind of physical. Just the other day, we woke up. The poor guy was so raunchy. He was grinding up my leg. I looked into sex therapy, but it's expensive and often not covered under insurance. We decided to try doing scheduled events. Tonight is the first scheduled action. It's unfortunate timing, red flow and all. And he doesn't seem to mind that. Meanwhile, my guts are twisting up about it, and I feel frustrated and sad. I imagine he might be feeling much the same way. I want him in my life. I care about him deeply. Apart from his sex drive and my lack of one, we make a very good team. I'm trying hard to make this work for him, but I just feel so stuck. Any ideas what I should do? Any ideas what I should? Any ideas where I should start? Any ideas what I should do? You want to weigh in first?
Yeah, so it looks like she has a specific fetish.
Okay.
So why not start with that? Just, you know, go with the fetish. What's wrong with that? It doesn't work in the bedroom setting, so make it work. That way you win and he wins too.
So you're
She
saying,
doesn't really say what the fetish is, but
hey, YTF34, thanks for subscribing. And hey, OX Make Out Phil is thanks for following, and Power Block 8989.
Power Block 8. Wow, that's a cool name. Power Block 8589.
8989.
8989.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so yeah, that's what I think. I think what are your thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts are, okay, the fetish thing, I feel like those things are always just icing on the cake. And what I think what it comes down to is this one seems like a very simple solution. To me, it sounds like it's just communication. That's all. You know, they're both roommates. It doesn't say whether they're into looking for something long term or not, but she likes him. It seems he likes her, or at least he has a strong sex drive, so he's interested in that way. What it comes down to is just communication, having that heart-to-heart talk. I think that's usually the solution in a lot of these things, and this one is just having that talk. Like, I mean, she's asking the community, but what about having that heart-to-heart with them? And sometimes it's intimidating to have a heart-to-heart with someone, especially if you're not looking for something long-term. Maybe you're not looking for something so deep. Maybe you're looking for something more surface level, and it's kind of hard to do that. So you're trying to like guess and navigate your way through guessing. That's what I think. And I think if you have a heart-to-heart talk, you will figure it out. Like, I mean, if the person really just honestly is able to bring themselves out and just say, like, let's say for example, this guy this is just an example. If he says that he's just in for it just because he just wants to get off and he doesn't care. Like apparently it was her time of the month, and according to this, it seemed like he doesn't mind, meaning that he's okay with even doing it while she's on. Is that what she means?
Yeah, that's what she means.
You know. Oh, we got
But
another follower.
I
Oh,
don't.
hey, thanks. Exo Makeout Phil. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. OX Makeout Hill. XO. Like Hug Kiss Makeout Hill. XO. All right. Thanks for the gift and 10,000 points. Awesome. Okay.
10,000 energy. Whoa.
10,000 energy. Um,
Energized.
so what I want to say about this is that if you really got it, like, it goes back to the same thing. Like, do you understand yourself, and are you in tune with yourself? Like, what do you want out of this? Because yes, there's an issue here and that requires communication. Now, are you willing to go to that point of communication? Because when you really make yourself vulnerable and speak to the other person,
Mm-hmm.
it's a difficult thing to do. It takes courage. And is that person willing to go there as well and speak about it? Especially if they're just looking for something that's very surface level, like they just want to get off, they just want to bang their roommate, and that's what they're in for. It's, you have to know the person. Are they willing to have that conversation and go there? I mean, some of them might, because even though if they're not, they're looking for something like a fling, or they're looking for something that's just once in a while, or just, but they want to be sincere to that, and they're willing to have that deep
But
connection, because
but it
that's what.
looks like they've been together for 5 years and they've done things together for several years, right?
Right.
So from like we're incredibly domestic, that means that they do pretty much everything together. That's how I understand it.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
I'm wrong.
I mean,
Um,
I think a lot of it has to do with how vulnerable
so when you
emotionally can
say
you make yourself
heart to heart,
available.
right?
Well, yeah. So
So
it's
when
like this. Here's what I mean.
what is your idea
So
of heart to
a heart
heart?
to heart means making yourself emotionally available. Think of it like this: if you're able to make yourself naked in the bedroom with someone, can you make yourself naked emotionally for someone? Like you see this probably in movies all the time.
Mhm.
You know, where the other, where you see the two characters, and one character is just really making himself just naked from the inside and open. He's laying it all out. He's laying it all out, being raw, honest, and it's just laying it all out. Honest, pure honesty. Doesn't care about what judgments are going to come, because everybody's judgmental in some way. He
Mhm.
doesn't care. He's laying it all out and saying these, like he's showing all his cards, and he's like, "This is it. Are you on board with me? Will you join me? Will you accept me for who I am, the way I am?" And when you get yourself to that place, and the other person is willing to receive them, they're in that place too with you, and they're present with you in that moment.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful thing. I
See,
feel
see
like
what
real
you're
connection
saying.
happens. Yeah,
What you're saying is amazing, and I'm pretty sure everyone looks for that, right?
yeah,
But that is incredibly hard to do. And sometimes it takes years for, people to come to that sort of mindset and that sort of understanding with each other.
you, it's
And
it's
if
it's it's funny you say that it takes years, and I feel like years can go by and it won't happen.
mm,
It goes back to the idea of like going to the gym. You can say it could take years to get in shape. It could take years to get build all that muscle and be fit, but it won't happen until you start putting in the work. I'm not saying you'll go from 0 to 100 right away. I'm saying you'll get there with that one moment that you say, okay, I want to do this, and she's in it as well, and she's willing to be present with me. We're both present with
mhm.
each other, and then we're just gonna keep trying to connect on deeper and deeper levels. You'll eventually be a pro years down the road, versus saying it'll come later. I think the more
Mhm.
you put it off, kind of doing yourself a disservice.
No, I'm not saying putting it off. I'm saying that um, sometimes when you put yourself in that situation, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
like put yourself out there, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's scary because you like this person and this person likes you, but you don't know what they like about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you put yourself out in this like your heart on a platter,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, oh, I was that's not what I wanted, but okay. And now you're, rather than trying to understand where the other person is what I think
Mm-hmm.
is the key. Relationship is not just about putting yourself out there and getting destroyed or
Mm-hmm.
getting accepted. It should be about understanding each other. And sometimes doing that, you find things that, I don't know, like you may not like about the other person, but
Mm-hmm.
still accepting.
Mm-hmm.
So like a heart to heart is like like having it right away. It's pretty scary in my opinion.
That's to me. I mean, yes, it is scary, and I feel like. I mean, this is all just in my opinion. I feel like everybody's gonna have their own reservations about this, but I feel like
But
the fact that it's
I
scary
think I
is
think
the
I'm misunderstanding your heart to heart though. So like when you say heart to heart, do you mean just like what do you mean by heart to heart? Like this is what I want and
no,
this
no,
is what
no,
like
no. It's
what
when I say
is
heart to heart, it's like really opening up your heart and saying and being honest about how you truly feel,
oh okay. Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
So a heart to heart means like you're opening up your heart, she's opening up
Mm,
her heart, and she's ready to like receive you, and you're ready to receive her,
oh
like
yeah, I
that.
agree with
Getting
that.
to
I
that
agree with that.
place,
Right, right. Yeah.
right? And yes, we talk about it being scary. It is scary. Now, to
Mm-hmm.
me, that's exciting
Mm,
because I'm like, if I'm not willing to go to this place with a person that I care so much about, and
mm,
even though it's scary for me, I'll be like, I'm willing to go here for you,
mm-hmm.
and it's scary, but hey, I trust you, and that's the reason. That's where trust comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you wouldn't need trust if it wasn't scary, right? You trust
Yeah.
them because the things are scary, and you trust them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why you do it. Otherwise, what's the difference between being with your lover and anyone else?
Yeah,
They're all the
that's
same,
true.
right?
That's
They got to stand out in some way, right?
that's true.
Because yeah, they can destroy you. You're giving that yourself to them, and they can totally destroy you.
Mm-hmm. But if
Yeah.
this person in the post has been with um her roommate for 5 years,
Mm.
I imagine they've like built a level of trust with each other, a level of
Everybody has a level of trust, right? I mean,
yeah,
you get on a bus, and the bus driver says, "Yeah, we're going to this stop." You trust them that much. You have a level of trust with the bus driver. Like he's going to tell you when that bus stop arrives. Everybody's got that, right?
right,
Everybody's
right.
got a level. Now, where's your level that you want to be at? How deep do you want this relationship to go? Because the deeper it is, that level of trust is going to be deeper. That it doesn't. Nobody else can really match that,
Hmm.
right?
But it seems like all she cares about is like wanting to be able to sleep with them, right?
Well,
So
I'm thinking there's more to it because obviously these posts are just so concise and there's so little there, and I'm
yeah.
trying to draw from other things that could possibly be there. And
Mm,
she's writing in a forum where it's about dead bedroom, so they might feel that if I don't write about the dead bedroom part, they're not gonna like that I posted here, you know. So
mm-hmm,
I feel
mm-hmm,
like there's that, but I feel, or maybe they don't know, but I like I'm a believer in that whatever is happening in the relationship is gonna mirror in the bedroom as well, and
mm-hmm,
so um you're not being honest and open with your lover. I think there's a good chance that you're gonna exhibit that. It's gonna be exhibited in the bedroom,
mm-hmm.
in some way. So anyway,
Cool.
that was that one. All right, that's um. By the way, do you believe in that now, or you don't? That how you feel? Um,
Well, I thought
it,
that was a given, that they had that with each other.
but what I'm saying,
I thought this was
I'm
more
talking about
about,
the mirroring of what happens in your relationship will also be mirrored in the bedroom. I'm talking about just that idea, that notion that it's a mirror of each other.
yeah, I believe that. I mean, it's clearly that not for these guys because they
Well,
obviously
I,
feel for each other, but they're not able to
I,
mirror it.
I feel like sometimes things could exist, but people don't realize it because they weren't able to recognize it.
Mm-hmm,
And so I feel like once you recognize it and you see these things, things might make more sense, and you might be able to
mm-hmm.
act accordingly. Let's check out another. Let's check out another thread. Let's see here. Let's try to look into relationships. Let's see what they have there. Now, in this thread, let's see what people have to say here. Let's see if we can find. Oh, are we sorting by? No. All right. Um, let's see what other. Let's try another thread then. Um, dating advice. Let's check out what they have to. What kind of dating advice people are given. Is it weird if I snap a girl at this? Let's see what this guy says. All right. Cornflake69 writes, "Is it weird if I snap a girl this? If we're snapping pictures of ourselves back and forth with no text, and I've made it made
Nice.
myself clear that I like her, but I've only flirted with her like once or twice. Would it be weird if I said out of nowhere, 'Sorry if this is weird, but you are super pretty'? Is this weird, or would they like it?" Oh, that's cute. What do you think?
That is so strange.
You find it strange?
Yeah, like it's like you gotta have some sort of flow to your conversation. If you guys are talking about science and then all of a sudden, I think it's weird. But
Really?
yeah, I mean, it's
I find
cool.
I find it
He's
cute. I find it cute. I don't know how old this person is. Cornflake69, but I think that's cute. It sounds to me like they're in like high school or something.
yeah,
And they're just snapping back and forth. And look, and it's not a weird thing to say, hey, you're super pretty. I mean, he kept it pretty PG and censored. You know, it wasn't, you know, you know what I mean, it wasn't like some dick pic or something like that. You know what I mean? So
no, but the like he's asking if it's weird, right?
uh,
And I'm saying that the reason why it's weird is because there's no flow to it. Like if there was a flow, like if they were talking about something like, like actors, like looking at actors and actresses and stuff like that, and
mm,
then I can see why it wouldn't be weird if they were
yeah,
talking about, like how
mm,
how someone looks, and then I
mm.
don't know. To me, it's just like if you're talking, I don't know, if you're just talking about like
uh,
baseball and then all of a sudden you're super pretty, like what?
mm.
Okay, sounds good, man.
Wow. I don't know. I don't think it's weird. I think it's cute. I think it's part of the moment. It's spontaneous. I think
All right.
it's like having a good time with someone, and all of a sudden, like, hey, I don't want to ruin the fun or anything like that, but I just want to let you know that you're super fun. You know, I think that's I don't think it's weird. I think it's awesome. I think trust your heart. If you want to say that, say it.
Yeah. I
You know,
mean it
you're thinking with your heart. You're not thinking with your you know.
with your
Um,
brain. Yeah. That's
yeah.
true. I mean if you really feel like you want to say that and you
Mm,
say it and you can't help yourself from saying it, then I can see where the whole super cute comes from.
let's see another one.
Sure.
Instagram versus phone number. All right, what do you have to say here? Um,
And that's
let's see. Lately, we've been matched with someone on Tinder. So lately, I've been matched with someone on Tinder, and even once or twice with people that I've met in person. I asked to exchange Instagram handles rather than phone numbers. Obviously, this won't work if you or the other person don't have or use Instagram, but I find it better than a dead end conversation that sometimes happen with texting. You also get a peek inside the other person's life depending what they post. Oh, by the way, this is user. This is a written by a user. A white trash stepdad. Okay. Anyway, he writes what else? I
oh
realized that
god.
old and social media that old and social media in general are pretty shallow, and judging someone off their internet persona isn't always accurate, but sometimes it can help. For example, a few months ago I matched with this girl, and we chatted on Tinder, and then followed each other on Instagram. Over the next few weeks I learned her life was a total mess. She was in recovery for alcoholism and constantly posting stuff about cutting people out of her life, being drama free. People who constantly post about being drama free always bring the most drama, and had the new best friend like every week. Anyway, my point is, I dodged a
So-
bullet and didn't have to deal with the text conversation, which can be tedious. I know this is a personal preference thing, and everyone uses Instagram differently, but it's helped me. Also, have been a couple of times when I've been in a super busy period of life, followed someone on Instagram for a couple of months, and ended up hanging out with them at a later date when things calm down. I feel like with text, once the conversation dies, it's awkward to pick it back up. I mean, you've never met, obviously, and didn't have enough to talk about to keep the flow going. How do you even start that back up? With Instagram, it's easy. They post a story of something they're doing or a meme or whatever. Boom, instant conversation starter to get the ball off rolling again. Here you're talking about conversation and the flow. Well, Mr. White Trash Stepdad, that's the username. By the way, I'm not looking to offend anybody or say anything if it sounds like I'm being not so respectful to any of these things. It's nothing like that. Also, just these are just my opinions. To me, this is very simple. Like he has his opinions of Instagram and versus phone number, and I would agree. I think the Instagram it's a new age phone number. That makes sense. Like at the same time, people will be more inclined to give you their Instagram than their phone number because sometimes phone number can be a little bit too personal.
Yeah, but Instagram, I don't know.
You would want you want the person's phone number, not their Instagram.
Um, I'm like, I prefer face to face rather than
Of course, of course.
like trying to wait for the next Instagram story so I can, start a conversation with this person. Like, good for him. Like I mean, that's a solid observation, but
I
I don't
mean,
know. I
he
never
also.
really thought too much about it.
I mean, according to him, he also likes Instagram because he's like, yo, he got to learn something about the person, and he's like, yo,
Yeah.
he dodged the bullet. You know what I mean? He's like, yo,
Yeah.
if it was text, I would never saw it coming.
But
Which
it's
he's got a
very,
point.
very easy to like create a fake persona on Instagram.
It is, and you won't really know who the person is,
Exactly.
and you're right. Either way, these are just both avenues to try and communicate to someone, whether it's
Hmm.
text text message or Instagram. Those are both basically both talking through typing words, right? And you could probably learn a little bit more about a person by actually having a conversation through voice, and then even more so by in person. And obviously, they're trying to gauge whether it's worth it for an in person meeting. But I think I said, I mean, essentially they're pretty much the same. I mean, chances are if they give you their text number, they're probably going to give you their Instagram as well. But it doesn't work vice versa. Like it doesn't work the other way around. If they give you their Instagram, it doesn't mean that they're always going to give you their text number, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
I think phone numbers are, I don't know, they're way, way more personal than
of course,
Instagram.
of
Because
course, of course.
Instagram, everyone's watching what you're watching,
Exactly. No,
Whereas phone
absolutely.
number, like the conversation you're having on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
it's personal,
Well,
whether
like,
text
mm,
or video, whatever it is, or even phone.
I think
But
maybe.
that's my opinion.
I mean,
I don't know.
maybe. I guess you got to really ask yourself, like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a
Hmm.
method to gauge whether this is a relationship you want to pursue, or
Hmm.
like a person that you want to talk to? Then yeah, then maybe you would prefer Instagram. Or otherwise, or are you a person that just rather just jump straight into human conversation and have that human connection? Maybe you'll
Yeah.
just be like, forget it. I don't care what their online personality is. I want to know the person for real and who they are, and that's your thing. Um, Let's see. CP Carm says, "You guys gaming at all tonight after the chat?" Yeah, we'll probably game. You want to tune in and watch some gaming?
Let's do some gaming, man.
All right, all right. We'll give it about 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna do some gaming tonight. We'll start that up with the new stream just in case people want to rewatch this. Because sometimes people like the chat stuff, and some people like the gaming stuff. All right, let's just check out one more.
Last one, make it good, man.
All right, you pick then.
All right, go 3 more down
What
and
about
pick
this one?
that.
Confused and can't tell if the guy likes me or not. Help.
Probably doesn't like you.
don't say that's me. Never know. We haven't read it, so we don't know. Uh, Mr. Bandana. All right, let's see. I am a 16-year-old male having trouble with a friend
Pandarino.
of. Uh, cool. Thanks. All right, the next one. Let's see here. Need help in being more talkative. Interesting. You want to read this one? What do you think of this one?
Sure.
Let's put this one. I already have hobbies. Is online dating is my only chance of meeting new people. The next one is 21-year-old met 19 on college campus while visiting family. And it's almost perfect thing except for one thing. Ooh, cliffhanger. Which one?
Pick the third one.
Which one was which one? This one?
The 21, yeah.
All right, let's read that one. Okay, you read it out this time.
All right. Okay, so this is by Scorpion Recon. We immediately hit it off.
Oh,
Had a
you
great.
gotta read the title. You gotta read the title. What is it? He's a
Didn't you
21
read
year
the
old.
title?
No, I didn't. Actually, no,
Oh,
we
okay,
did.
okay.
We did. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, we did.
All right. We immediately hit it off. Had a great Friday night, cuddling, talking, ping pong, and more. Asked her on a simple and quick ice cream date for Sunday at 2. I'm not sure if that's 2 a.m. or p.m.
Probably 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think ice cream places are open at 2 a.m.
That's true, unless it's like, at his place.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure it's 2 p.m. I mean, it's a first date. Who's gonna come out?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We go on it, but it lasts 8 hours, and it was great, and seemed like it was our 100th date, not our first date, and only second time seeing each other. We both are super interested in each other, but there's a catch. We live 17 hours apart. Our friends that know each of us think we're great together and even thought it's fast. And I've never liked a girl before, even remotely this quick. I've fallen extremely hard and I'm already basically in love with her. Whoa, okay. She's interested but is afraid of getting hurt. If we continue while I'm here for another week and then we're stuck long distance and things don't work out. I really like her and don't want things to end, but I'm not sure what to do. Please, any advice is welcomed.
Oh, this is an interesting one. You want to weigh in
Yeah.
first?
I mean, to me, it seems like he's obviously really interested in this girl. So I think take it slow, and she's obviously scared of being hurt.
Mm.
So if you take it slow and not try anything super super physical, like I don't know. I mean, depends what the girl is into. Again, it all falls down to communication and being on the same page, in my opinion.
What I would say about this is, first of all, I think it's awesome that he's so interested in this girl that he feels like he's in love with her.
Hmm.
And I mean, that's, I feel like, is a hard thing to come by. I mean, if you find someone that is that diamond, in the rougher, and that diamond amongst millions of pebbles. I mean,
Yeah.
go for it. I mean, you're 17 hours. That's nothing. You know,
Yeah.
people
You and I
have
both know.
yeah, because people have relationships with people all across around the world, and they're making it work. And you 17 hours, I get it. You're 21 years old, but um, hey, you found someone that you're absolutely head over heels for,
Struck by, yeah. He's
and
so struck that he had to create a post to.
yeah, and the come on, the distance should not.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
this is just
not.
my opinion, but to me, if I was in this person's shoes, I'm not trying to give advice to anybody, but um, if I was in their shoes, 17 hours is nothing. Come on,
Hmm.
if I found the girl of my dreams, I'd go around the world for her,
Hmm.
um, and and to make it work. And the second amazing thing is that she told you how she feels. She didn't stay quiet. She didn't keep it hidden. She said she's afraid of getting hurt. That's a
Hmm.
vulnerable thing to talk about. It's a
Yeah,
vulnerable thing
that's a good
to
point.
say.
Hmm.
And for a person to open up, especially at this point in the relationship, which is great. And let me say one thing is that in the beginning, sometimes it's easier to open up, because if a person gets hurt during the relationship, or throughout the relationship, they'll close off, and they might not share those inner thoughts and those inner feelings. But while they're there, cherish those, take care of those, nurture that, and and you guys will find your own pace. It doesn't matter that to me. I don't believe in the fast and the slow. I believe that once you get in sync with each other, you will find your rhythm, you will find your pace, and whatever that pace is something that suits the both of you, because you guys are both in it. You guys are both working at it, and it has the possibility of blossoming to something I think that's really beautiful, and it's amazing. And it's awesome that she's being honest. She gave that honesty up right in the beginning and said, and to be vulnerable and say that, like, I'm afraid of getting hurt. To say you're afraid takes courage.
Hmm.
To say anything that's kind of deep rooted takes courage. Don't discount that. I don't think anyone should ever discount that. That's what I had to say
Yeah.
about that. All right. I guess that was a nice last one to leave off of. Um,
Yeah, that was positive.
yeah, and so I guess we'll end it for the stream for today. Tomorrow we'll maybe check out some other threads, maybe some more of this stuff. It seems like a lot of our viewers like this conversation stuff. So, Mr. Spaceship Bandito, thanks for hanging out. At least it was towards the end.
Yeah,
We're
man.
gonna play some games. We'll start up a new stream.
Thanks for
So,
having me.
Mr.
Sorry if I
Spaceship.
said anything absurd, but
it's,
that's
it's,
how it is.
it's just it's
Spaceship
just it's
bandana.
It's Mr. Spaceship Bandana. This is just my personal opinion, so I mean, I'm just speaking my mind. It's not advice. It's just, if you see
This is
my
the
perspective,
truth.
it's a perspective is all it is, you know. So it's just like anybody commenting on there, you take it or leave it, doesn't matter. It's just a perspective.
It's the
So,
glorious truth, man.
yeah.
Behold the glorious truth.
Mr. Spaceship Bandana. Y'all knowing Miss Spaceship Bandana. All right, cool. So let's get into gaming. We'll start up in a bit.